Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly and it has been a long time since I made a video for you guys. So I am here today to give you an update and let you know how things have been going, and also to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all of these things that have been happening. It's just been a whirlwind of things going on and I have not caught up with you guys in forever. So I have a whole list of things that I wanted to update you on and let you know what's going on in my life. And so yeah, let's get started. First things first, I graduated college. Yay, I'm so excited. I graduated, actually, I graduated a year ago with my AA, which is what I needed to transfer to a 4-year university. So I have like my 2-year AA degree already. I just got that last year. But I graduated from the paralegal studies program at the same college that I was at before. It's also a 2-year associate's degree, but I got 2 of them. There's a paralegal studies in transactions and a paralegal studies in litigation, and I graduated about 2 weeks ago now from that program with both degrees. So I am done at that school. I was at a school called Valencia College here in Orlando, Florida. Oh, sorry, my mom just sent me something. An attachment that I can't see. Anyway, okay. So I am in a school here in Orlando, Florida called Valencia College, or I was, and that's where I just finished. And now I am transferring as a 3rd-year junior in to a new school. My words are not working. Okay, I am transferring as the junior in my 3rd year going into University of Florida, which is a fantastic school. One of the top public schools in the country, like in the top 10, I think it was number 8 during the last list that came out. And so I'm really excited to be starting at University of Florida. I'm gonna be in their criminology department and working on my bachelor's degree. I have 2 years left, 2.5 roughly. So I'm super psyched about that, to be moving into what I call phase 3 of my educational goals, because when I started this I had 5 phases. The first one was to get my AA so that I could transfer when I was ready. The next one was to get my paralegal degrees, and that was phase 2, which I just finished. And now I'm going into finish my bachelor's degree, which is phase 3. And then after that, I'm hopefully going to be moving on to some grad school, but that's up in the air. Let's get through my bachelor's degree and see where I stand at that point. It's been a long process already and I'm still going strong. So I'm so excited. It was rough, but I made it. This semester was super, super hard. I actually only had 2 classes in my paralegal program to complete in order to graduate, but I also had 2 other classes that I took for other things. One was a requirement for the criminology program at University of Florida, so I got that done, and I also had to take another class that I had taken many, many years ago and didn't get a very good grade in, and it was pulling my GPA down, so I chose to retake that as well. Since I was only taking 3 other classes, I had a little bit of room in my schedule for that, and so I did. I took that, and so I had a full semester, even though I really only technically needed 2 classes to finish those degrees. I still had 4 classes, and I was busy, busy, busy. Oh my goodness, I cannot even begin to tell you how busy I have been this semester. So anyway, let me get back to my list here. So that's the biggest thing that's happened to me this year, is I graduated college. That was a big deal. I actually have the 2 degrees and I could go work now as a paralegal. I mean, I could have before if I'd found an attorney that wanted to give me a chance and train me and all of that stuff. But now, I mean, I have the degree, so it's gonna be a lot easier for me to get in somewhere. And also I have the ability to sit for the state exam, which is not required to work as a paralegal, but it does help. It gets you more opportunities job-wise and also earns you a little bit more money. And because I have those degrees now, I can do that right away. Otherwise, you would have to like have like many years of experience in order to do that if you didn't have those degrees. So yay, that's that. I am ready to rock and roll with my paralegal degrees. Still kind of trying to figure out which way I'm gonna go with them, but I have them and there's a lot more options on the table for me now because of it. So that's awesome. In other school news, my daughter did not graduate yet, but my daughter left community. I'm sorry, the camera is so shaky. I don't know if it looks shaky on you guys. I'm like at a table, and every time like I bump the table, which is like the whole time I talk, because I'm a super animated talker, the camera shakes a little bit. So sorry if it's doing that. I will try really hard not to bump the table. Anyway, so my daughter left community college. She was just miserable there. Some kids, that's just not their thing. School has never really been her thing. And so yeah, she was doing okay in some classes and not in others, and she just wasn't happy. She needed either a year off or to find something else to focus her energy on. And so she ended up getting a really good scholarship, and she is going to the Aveda Institute, where she is learning to be a beautician, I guess, a hairstylist, whatever. She's getting her cosmetology certification, or whatever it is that you come out of Aveda Institute with. That's what she's going for. It's about a 10-month long program, and she is so happy, which is amazing for her because she's never really been excited about school. So this is really a change that we're seeing in her personality right now, that she's excited about what she's doing, and she's very talkative. She can come down and be all grumpy and then you ask her about school and she just lights up, and she talks about hair and all these things she's learning and all these things she wants to try and what she could do to your hair, and so it's just, we found her passion, and that's really awesome, and we're really excited to see where she takes this because she's really doing it, and she's doing well. So that is also a big change that's happened since the last time I talked to you guys. All right, what else? We took a couple trips since the last time I checked in. We had to go to New Jersey for my boyfriend's brother's wedding. He was getting married in Pennsylvania, actually, but we met the family in New Jersey and we all traveled to Pennsylvania together, and it was a really nice trip. We had a good time. We took my boyfriend's daughter, so we had like this little family thing going on, and it was fun. We all got dressed up and did our makeup, and we went out the night before, and we went out for the day of the wedding and the night at the wedding, and that was a nice trip. It was nice to get out of Florida, be somewhere else, be around my boyfriend's family. This is his father and stepmother and his 2 half siblings that we were with, and that was just a really nice time, and so that was good. And I actually filmed a video where I was picking out the dress that I was going to wear to that wedding, but I never posted it because things got crazy right around that time. That was at the end of September. When I got back, we were headed right into October, and that's when things get crazy for me. Of course, I'm in school, so the semester's picking up, and I had a lot of assignments and things going on that were consuming all of my time. And on top of that, I am a portrait photographer, and fall is the most insane time of the year for me. I am just like maxed out, so maxed out in the fall. Even if I wasn't in school, I would be maxed out. And so this fall was incredibly challenging because of that. And so I came back in October, and I never got that video up. So maybe I will still process it and load it for you guys. But in the meantime, it is almost New Year's, and I wanted to get this video up for you now. So I might go back and work on that one later. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so we took that trip and we came home, and photography was just like poppin'. I had sessions every week, every weekend, all weekend long. I book multiples. For those of you that don't know, I do family portrait photography, and I cover both where I'm from, the North Carolina, Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area, as well as where I live now in the Orlando, Central Florida area. So I'm in both locations, and I go back and forth. During the rest of the year, I go like once a month or so up there. In the fall, I go like every other week because it's just so busy. Fall in North Carolina is so busy for family portraits. Everybody needs their Christmas cards, right? Everybody needs their updated family picture for the holidays. So I book a lot of sessions. I book them all back to back, like all day long, every weekend. One weekend I'm in North Carolina, one weekend I'm in Florida. I just go back and forth, and I'm editing photos the rest of the time, like in between. That's all I do. I sit at the computer, I just edit photos, and I do homework. That's all I have time for in the fall. I am literally from like sun up to sundown and even beyond. I get 3 or 4 hours of sleep some nights because I am just up trying to get people's pictures processed and back to them as fast as possible, because they're hounding me about it because they need to get their Christmas cards ordered. And it just gets insane. And so I don't have time to do videos when I am that busy. And so I have just neglected this channel, and I feel so bad, but that's why. And now that I'm coming out of it, finally, thank you God, I can focus a little bit more on the channel. Obviously, I'm not gonna be as busy with photography in the winter time, but I will be starting school, so we'll see how I balance things out that way. But yeah, I'm just glad the fall's over. I'm done with school. All the photos are finally, as of yesterday, actually, or maybe 2 days ago, I finished all of the photos that were still from like fall sessions, because man, like I just can't even explain to you how rough this past fall was. It was really bad. So anyway, moving on. I had a little story for you about my day of finals, because we actually had to move the week of finals because the house that we were living in, that we moved into last summer, it was actually like a sublease. Somebody else had rented the house, and then they were renting out like to roommates, and then they left, and there were still like people renting the rooms through them, and then they were paying the actual landlord, and it was like this weird subleasing situation. Anyway, they were not going to renew the lease, and so everybody had to leave. And we had to move, and I had, like, it came down to basically the week of finals, and because my boyfriend is kind of a slacker at times, he pushed things off until the very last minute, and it was actually the day of finals that I had to go and pick up a U-Haul truck and help move all of our heavy furniture, like dressers and couches and entertainment center, down the stairs and onto the truck, and then off the truck and into the new house, all while I'm trying to study for finals, go take finals, edit photos, all of the things that I had like piled on top of me at the time, I had to move at the same time too. And not only that, but I had, one of the classes I was taking was statistics, and there was a specific calculator, a TI-83, for those of you that are familiar with math, that I needed to take the final. And I actually needed it for the class, but I had gotten the app on my phone, and I was just using the app because it's like the same thing, and it worked fine. And I knew I was going to have to buy the calculator for the final, because you can't use your phone at the testing center when you're taking the final. So I found one on Craigslist, or not Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace for like $15. And most of them, they usually go for like 20 or 30. So I was like, okay, great, you know, 15 bucks. I can go get it, take my test, and then throw it back on Facebook Marketplace and sell it. So that's what my plan was. And I went to meet the lady, and she sold me a bad calculator, actually. And I should have known, because there was like all these warning signs, but she was basically like a drug addict living in an RV park, and she had a baby. So I kind of feel sad for both of them, to be honest. But I contacted her the day before, and I had asked her if I could come get it, and then I didn't for some reason. I don't know, maybe just because there was so much going on, I never followed up. Anyway, she messaged me at like 1:30 in the morning and said if I could give her $10, I could come have the calculator. And I was like, okay, I'll get up with you in the morning, thanks. I was like, 10 bucks, great. That's even less, right? So I go over to the address she gave me. It is an RV park in kind of like a rural area. And And the girl walked up to the front. She said she would meet me, she would walk up to the front to meet me. And I was like, okay, it's a gated RV park. And so I thought maybe she was just trying to make things easier on me. I didn't mind driving in there, but I was like, all right. So I waited out front for her, and she showed up with this baby on her hip and no teeth and all that. And handed me the calculator, and she was very polite, and I said thank you, and I left, and I went and I put batteries in it, and it didn't turn on, and it didn't work. And so I basically got scammed by this lady who was looking for 10 or 15 bucks, probably for drugs. I hope it was for the baby, but I doubt it was. Anyway, so I had to go buy another calculator because I was like, this was the day that my final had to be done by. I had to have it done by like 5 or something, and I also had another final that night at 7, and so like there was no wiggle room for me to be messing around at this point. I needed to get to school and take this thing, and so I had to go buy a brand new one, and they're like $100. So I actually ended up spending like $120 that day just on this stupid calculator to go take my final. And I guess I need to turn around and sell it now, but I'm not I can't even talk. I'm not gonna get even half of what I paid for it when I resell it, and it's brand new. So anyway, that sucked, but I got the final done, and I passed, and I got an A in the class in statistics. So, and that was hard. Statistics was actually not as hard as I expected it to be, but towards the end, like the last couple sections, it really started to get challenging. And but I did learn that I love statistics. I really loved it. And I've never been like a super big math person. I like algebra, but nothing really beyond that. But I learned that I love statistics. So anyway, that's that. And what else? Oh, our Christmas trip. Our Christmas trip. I was so excited. We have my boyfriend's daughter for 2 weeks over winter break this year. They alternate with her mom. And this was our year, so we had the full Christmas break from like last week until next week, basically. And oh, hang on, my daughter needs something. Okay, so where was I? I went on our Christmas trip. We planned to have this big trip, which actually half of it didn't work out, which was a little disappointing. Oh, sorry, I hit a button on my phone. So we were going to go all the way to North Carolina, which is like a 9 to 10 hour drive when I'm by myself. When I'm with other people, it becomes like a 12-hour drive because people are hungry, people need the bathroom, you know, we're constantly stopping. Plus we had like a 7-year-old child with us, and so there's like all of these extra stops along the way, and it took about 12 hours. We were gonna go to North Carolina and visit my sister in the mountains, who has like this amazing property up on a lake in the mountains outside of Asheville. She's got 6 little kids. 3 of them or 4 of them are close to my boyfriend's daughter's age. And so we knew that she was going to just have a blast. She's a little social butterfly. So I was really excited to take her up there and spend Christmas with them in the mountains with all the kids, and my family, my parents and my daughter were gonna be there. And so that was really nice. And then we were going to go to New Jersey from there and visit my boyfriend's family again for New Year's. And I thought that was gonna be really fun, but unfortunately we couldn't pull it off. We only could pull off the first half of the trip, and I feel kind of bad about it, but I mean, we've been so busy, and we are on such a tight budget. Like just getting to North Carolina and then back was about all we could do. And honestly, that was overextending ourselves a bit just doing those things. So, but yeah, we had a wonderful time. We went up to the mountains, and the car ride was a little bit long, and by the end we were all pretty aggravated, but we got up there and she just like met the other kids and ran off, and they were playing for like 3 days straight, and there were presents and there was food, and my daughter was there, and we got to spend a lot of time together as a family, and that was just wonderful. Like we had a great Christmas trip. And then we actually left my sister's and drove a couple hours away to where my parents live and spent 2 nights there because I had another photo shoot booked. Sometimes Christmas can get busy for me with photography because families are all together, and people will hire me to come out and do photos of their entire family, like grandparents and all the kids and grandkids together. So I had a shoot scheduled in Chapel Hill, or that area at least, like 2 days after Christmas. So we left my sister's, went to my parents, spent 2 days there. I did that shoot, and then we hopped in the car and we drove back to Florida, which was again another 12-hour drive. And that drive, you know, the first half of it went okay. It wasn't too bad. We were all kind of like burned out at that point. My boyfriend's daughter just had her iPad and her headphones on, and she was fine. Gave her some snacks, but we were kind of low on funds. We really just had enough money to get gas to get home and get like one cheap fast food meal on the way, and we were gonna end up at the house with like $5 left in my pocket. And that's pretty much how it played out. But then about 2 hours before we got home, we got a text message from our new landlord that said, I'm sorry. Actually, let me just read this to you because it's right here in front of me. Okay, this is the weirdest thing about it too, because like 3 days ago, or 3 days before this, she sent me a text message that said, from my family to your family, we wish you a very Merry Christmas, love and peace. Which is obviously like a message she was sending out to lots of people, like not us specifically. But then 2 days later, I get a message that says, good evening. I'm sorry, but I'm not renting you the room from January 1st on. You have to move out by the end of this month. Thank you. And this is on like December 28th. Like, by the end of the month, we have to move out? What? Like, this doesn't make sense. So I said, oh my goodness, is everything okay? And she said, everything is okay with me and the house, but unfortunately, I can't rent you guys anymore. Thank you. I'm like, what? What? First of all, by law, she has to give us 15 days notice. We're on a month-to-month lease, and a month-to-month lease requires that we are given 15 days notice if they want to terminate the lease and we have to move out. So you can't just be like 3 days before the end of the month, you have to move out by the end of the month. That's not legal. And so I wrote her back the next morning after I thought things through, and I was just like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you want us to leave so quickly. I don't know what's going on. Aren't we supposed to have at least 15 days of notice? Like, I don't think we can move this fast. And she sent me this long message that said, good morning. As per Florida statute, you may stay the 15 days if you comply with the next corrections. And then she sent us this long list of ridiculous stuff. And we were like, well, for one, I don't think you're allowed to add your own conditions to whether or not you follow statutory law. I mean, I literally just graduated 2 weeks ago with 2 paralegal degrees, so I'm pretty familiar with this stuff. And you can't just say, you know, I will give you the amount required by law if you do this. Like, that's not how it works. So anyway, she sent us this long list. Apparently this other lady that lived in this other room here moved out while we were on our Christmas trip and blamed us for clogging the bathroom, like the drains. She said that she had to buy all this Drano and she was always cleaning after us. And apparently one of us left a dish in the sink and forgot about it before we left town. Not a lot of dishes, a dish. And then she said my dog was pooping on the furniture, which has never happened, ever. And I was like, what is she talking about? She said that a witness had seen us dispose of someone else's mail. And I was just like, what is going on? Anyway, we were like, okay, I guess we've got to go get a storage unit and move all of our stuff out of here. This is getting a little crazy. And I told her that. I said, this is getting really bizarre. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to talk to an attorney on Monday and I will let you guys know what happens. And I just left it at that. Anyway, so that was yesterday, and Jack, my boyfriend, called her last night because I heard somebody at the door and it scared me because we have another roommate that still lives here and I thought they were home. And then someone came to the door and rang the doorbell, and this is like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, rang the doorbell and then started unlocking the door. And I thought the other people that lived here were already home. And so I freaked out and I called my boyfriend, and then he called the landlady that we're having all these issues with and was like, are you at the house? Kelly heard somebody at the door and she got scared. And she said, no, I'm not there. Anyway, they got to talking about what was going on, and they had a long, like hour-long conversation. By the way, it was the other roommates, but apparently, because it's a couple, there's a guy and a girl, and I guess one of them was home and the other wasn't. I don't know. But anyway, they got to talking and they talked things out from what I understand, and it looks like we are going to be staying here now. I don't know. We're waiting to find out. She was going to talk to her partner because she owns like the house with another person, and they're gonna decide if they can let us stay. I'm like, screw that. Like, after being treated that way, I don't even want to stay. I'm fine just putting all my stuff in storage and living out of my car and looking for another place. Like, that is honestly where I thought I was going today. I already rented a storage unit online last night. I was going today to pay the fee and start moving things there. And I was just getting the heck out of here. I'm not gonna live in this house with crazy people accusing us of things that aren't true and throwing us out with 2 days notice. Are you kidding me? On Christmas, no less? Like, I'm not dealing with these people. I don't know what's going on, but I will get the heck out of here and I will go find somewhere else to live. Like, I'm fine with that. So, but Jack was not fine with that. Jack loves this house for some reason. Like, he loves the kitchen. It's got a really nice kitchen. I'll show you guys. I'll give you a little tour maybe if we stick around. But it's got a really nice kitchen, and we are supposed to be moving into the master bedroom. We've been waiting for this other person to move out of the master bedroom so that we could move into it. And then we are going to have like a lot of space, and it's like one of those really large master suites that has 2 walk-in closets and like a big bathroom. It's more space than we've really ever had, to be honest. And we were finally going to be able to like settle in, unpack things, get organized, and like really have enough space for us to breathe. And we were really excited about that. And it looked like that was all about to fall through, and he just like melted down over it. He couldn't believe that we were being thrown out of this house that he thought was his forever home, even though, I mean, it's a rental. So to me, it's like, whatever, find another one. But to him, it was like a huge deal. And especially because he's got a kid, so he's got to think about stability for her, and I get that. But, so I don't know if we're coming or going. I'm kind of waiting for the word right now, and I will update you guys on that as it happens. I think that's it though. I think that's pretty much all I had to share with you guys for today. I know this video is getting really long. A lot of things have happened over the last few months. I am headed up to North Carolina at the end of this week, so I hope we know what's going on with this house by then. I am going, my daughter's got her certifications to get checked off so she can start working on the floor at Aveda doing people's hair. And she needs people to let her do their hair so she can get checked off by her instructors. So I'm going up next week to get my hair done by my daughter at the Aveda Institute. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm gonna spend a little bit of time up there because I am not in school right now, and I don't have to be back to Orlando for anything specifically. I mean, obviously I still have a boyfriend and stuff here, but like, I don't have to be back for class like I have been in the past. It's been really difficult on me. When I go up there, I have to turn around and come right back because I had class every Tuesday and Thursday. So I would get up there Friday or Saturday, and I'd have to be back here Monday or Tuesday. And it's been like that for years now. So I'm really excited to just be able to go up there and not have to turn around and come right back. I'm very excited for that. And then I start at University of Florida next week, and I'm really excited for that too. It's online this semester, so I don't have to be there specifically. I can do it from my parents' house in North Carolina, or I can do it from here at my house in Orlando, or I can go somewhere else and do it from wherever I am. And I've been thinking about what kind of trips I want to try and plan, but things have just been so insane that I haven't really gotten a plan together yet, but it's coming. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna close this video out, and I will try to make another one very soon for you. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh my goodness. Life has been crazy. Was that too much for one video? There's a lot of things. I should have broken it up. I should have been like story time videos where this is what happened here, and have like little like 7-minute videos talking about one thing versus like a 30-minute video talking about all the things. Oh well, it's done. Okay, bye guys.